Hey, what's up guys? Let me know if you can hear me alright. I tried to mess around with my audio settings a little bit. It might be too quiet. No man, this is a live stream. I needed an incentive to play this game because this is like 30 hours long and I need to get footage for the critique, and I just didn't feel like playing it by myself. I needed an audience to keep me company. Hey, what's up Phoenix? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I don't know, I just felt like streaming. It's the hip thing to do. Wow, 10 viewers. I was expecting just Bladed. I had no idea I was gonna be pulling these huge numbers. Alright, so the rundown for this stream is I am gonna be playing the game. I'm gonna be starting a new save. I haven't played through this game entirely since it came out, which has been 10 years, so I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of things, and I never played this Royal Edition, so it's got new features that I've never seen before. And I'm going to be doing like a live critique slash commentary, but you guys feel free to chat and shoot questions or whatever you like, and I'll interact with you guys in the quiet moments between whatever it is I have to say about the game. I'm going to skip the tutorial. I don't think I need it. I'm pretty sure it has a tutorial built into the early game anyhow. The Nintendo Direct video was funny. I laugh every time Nintendo puts out their little directs and conferences because, man, they're so out of touch these days. Hey, what's going on, Surfboard? You live in Japan, right? It's like 10 a.m. there or something like that? I'm not sure why the game starts at the ending like this. It never made sense to me because you don't even fight at all. It's just like a 30-second little thing of like, by the way, it heats up towards the end, and then it's a cold cut to the very slow intro. It doesn't really make any sense. I don't know why it's like this. It's like they wanted to have an action-packed intro, but rather than have it be like an interesting part of the early game, they just show you like, this is what it's going to be like at the end. I never understood why they did that here. Nintendo shills. I'm a part-time Nintendo shill. They're like the only company left that I seriously care about. I've given up on all the other major players at this point.
Set forth with my blessing, Prince Noctis.
The car pushing comes up in like 5 minutes. This game was a pioneer of the forced walking pandemic that swept the industry. Actually, you know what? I was playing the first God of War. That game has so many moments where it's just like slow down time and just walk.
Well,
mixed things to say about this game. I'm sure that's putting it lightly.
So much for royal protocol.
I was so excited for this game when it came out. They were doing all of those press events. IGN had like a live stream where all it was to announce the release date for the game. They did a whole big to-do about it. Remember that? It was like a 2-hour stream just to announce the release date for this
I have
game.
left too much unsaid. You place a great burden on those who would bear with you.
You're one to talk.
I ask not that you guide my wayward son, merely that you remain at his side.
Yeah, China isn't Ghostbusters also banned in China? They have like this weird
What he said. Hate to break this up.
like stigma against the portrayal of the undead in media. I don't know why.
He's in your hands.
And another thing. Do
Finally
mind
a
your
real
manners
gamer
around
review.
your
I know.
charming
I
bride.
don't like talking about the stories in video games. I'm sure you guys know, all my regulars here in the chat. I like talking about the gameplay. The story, you know, you could spend 5 hours talking about the story in this game and how much of a mess it is, but for me it's always been more interesting to talk about how it's a mess in terms of gameplay, because as bad as the story is, and how you need to watch like the anime and the movie and that little tutorial. What was it? They had like a prologue for this game. I don't even think you can download it anymore. It's like Platinum Demo, something like that. They splinter, and also the ending for this game is a book, which is ridiculous. You need to partake in like 10 different pieces of media just to get the full story for something that's not even worth it. Right away, the best part about playing this on PC is the loading times are massively improved. On the PS4, this was like 60, 70-second loading screens. Yeah, they canceled the final. Or wasn't it that the director left the company mid-development of the next batch of DLCs and they only got one of them finished?
I think we can forget about hitching our way there. Thought people were friendly outside the city.
You can only go so far on the kindness of strangers.
Tabata
Just gonna have
left.
to
Good
push all the
riddance.
way.
He should have taken
already pushed
Toriyama
myself.
with him.
To the brink of death.
Get up. Come on, Carson.
Although I have to say, I don't think I said this in any video,
Jeez.
that Final Fantasy Remake Part 3, I saw they're including a job system in that. And that was like, I opened my eyes for that. I was like, you guys are putting in a job system? Really? Now you've got my attention.
Unbelievable.
Never a fan of Tabata. I like Type Zero, but
We let ourselves get.
he hasn't done great work. He's still leagues better than Toriyama. Toriyama came out the gate with Final Fantasy X too, and it was all downhill from there, which is shocking.
This thing by yourself.
All by myself?
You won't even notice if we just let go.
Pronto, don't even think about it.
Save some breath for pushing.
Ignis, come on, time to switch.
Nuh-uh, we just switched back there.
And it's my turn, not.
His turn.
You needed to spend more time on this game.
You rather I kill you?
This is another. I think the mid 2000s for Square were messed up. So many of their games felt rushed. Type Zero was especially rushed. Same director too. Just he's very ambitious with his games, but
Next door.
it's just such a rocky development. He's too ambitious, and then you wind up getting this. You're gonna see how empty this world is. It's just not worth it designing this huge map and then having nothing to do in it. This could have been a cutscene. I'm gonna let go of the controller. I don't even think it matters, because it eventually pans out. I don't know if there's a trigger. You probably need to cross a certain point for the trigger to activate. There it is. I stopped right before the trigger.
Filled with wonders.
Tell that to my legs.
No, it's not a cut. This is forced walking.
Pushing.
Hard as I can.
Everything I've got.
Yeah, listening to the classic music is the best part of this entire game. And you don't even need to play the game to enjoy it, because the car ride is automated. Type Zero, I think that's going to be one of those games kind of like Pokemon Black and White, where at release, no one really cared about it, and then after 20 years of garbage, people start playing that and they're like, you know what, that one, we had it pretty good back then. I think that's what's going to happen. Give Type 0 another 10 years.
Hitch just yet.
People are going to start to appreciate that because it feels like a classic Final Fantasy.
Apologies for taking so long.
You best save your apologies for Pawpaw.
Well, that makes you.
Cindy. Sid's grease.
Why this game for live stream? Because I wanted to make a critique for this game, and I need to play it anyway. And if I stream it, at least I have a motivation to actually sit down and put in the effort to play this game. Because the problem with this game is really that it's boring. It's not even that it's bad, it's just that it's really not that fun to play. It's just a lot of moving around between the hotspots.
Prince. Like they took your old man and kicked the dignity out of him.
What?
You got a long way to go, son. And that slackjaw's getting you nowhere fast.
Yeah, the radio is great. They should have that in all of the Final Fantasies, the ability to like customize the soundtrack with songs from the prior games. I mean, it works here because you're not really doing much of anything, so they needed to have some music playing in the car, but like being able to customize the airship theme for some of the later games. The only one after this is 16, which doesn't have any overworld traversal at all.
Never liked that game. Never any good at it either.
I don't know if there are any weeaboos in the chat. Do you guys care if this game is in English or Japanese? I really don't care one way or the other. I've never played it in Japanese. I've played it in English.
Y'all ain't never been out this way before, have you? Go on, have a look around. This'll make sure y'all don't get lost.
Mexican dub. Let me take a look here.
Might
How
as
do
well
I
make-
check the audio? I may need to reset the game. If I have to, then I'll probably do it later.
Use it.
I don't see it. Okay. Language. Voice. We got German, French, Russian, and Japanese. We'll do Japanese for now. Oh, it does reset the game. Oh my god, don't make me push the car again. Please, God. You've got to be kidding me. God damn it. German? Alright, I'll set it to German. German's gonna sound angry. German is a very angry language. Is there an autosave? Perfect. No, I'm not pushing the car again. I'll find a save online. I'll spend 30 minutes looking for a save right after the car pushing part.
Huh.
Alright, thankfully we don't have to worry about that.
Hoheit! Hey, ihr Jungs seid doch zum ersten Mal hier, oder? Ich gebe euch eine Karte.
Is that a woman's
damit ihr die
voice?
Gegend erkunden könnt.
Okay, mal gucken, was es hier so gibt.
I'm not familiar with German at all. That sounded Spanish to me.
Ebony-Kaffee haben die auch. Das wird Ignis.
Hallöchen!
Lichen! Can I buy any music? I have no money.
Noct. Warte mal kurz. Unser ganzes Geld ist für die Reparatur draufgegangen. Ich würde gerne Sydney um Rat fragen.
Wir sind völlig abgebrannt.
When this is on the screen, the Pauper Prince, I can't move at all. It forcefully opened the menu to show me where Cindy is, like I didn't just see her 30 seconds ago.
Nanu, der Wagen ist noch nicht fertig. Was wollt ihr?
Die Wartung
Why not just give me the money right away? Why did you have me walk into the convenience store with no money on me, just to have me come back to her? What exactly was that? What was the lesson being taught there?
Extra zu viel abgeknöpft. Nehmt's ihm bitte nicht übel. Das ist einfach seine Art, euch an den Ernst des Lebens zu gewöhnen. Zu Geld kommt man hier am schnellsten als Jäger. Wollt ihr's mal versuchen?
Yeah, why did they give Cindy like a southern accent? I always think that when they give accents to characters in English dubs, it's just like a different dialect in the original Japanese script. So maybe she had like the Osakan dialect or something like that, I'm not sure. I skip this.
Aber seid vorsichtig. Nachts treiben sich hier Siecher rum. Hier, eine kleine Anzahlung. Reicht zum Übernachten. Aber kein Wort zu Großvater, ist das klar?
This intro, to give you an idea of how slow this is, you don't have the car, so you just, look at this, you just uneventfully run all the way over here. Plus there's a stamina bar for some unholy reason. The map is enormous and they found it prudent to give you a stamina bar.
Los geht's, Noct.
Pauses me right in the middle of my action. I love how I already attacked the enemy and it's giving me a tutorial on how to attack. I chose skip tutorial, by the way. Keep that in mind. There was an option when I booted the game. It says skip tutorial. I said yes. And now I get to run all the way over there. Stop giving me tutorials.
Gut. Auf zur nächsten Koordinate.
Yeah, the music is good. I think Yoko Shimomura, I don't know if she did the whole soundtrack, but she did a lot of it. It's got that Kingdom Hearts flavor to it. Although my favorite soundtrack from Shimomura is Radiant Historia. That is peak Shimomura right there. That was when she was firing on all cylinders. That game is really good too, by the way. If you guys haven't played Radiant Historia, don't play the 3DS port. Play the original DS version. They use like this generic anime art style and ruin the tone of the game for the 3DS version. Okay, thanks for the tutorial.
Manchmal ist ein perfekter Block der beste Angriff. Kinderleicht. Beeindruckend. Yep.
Beobachte die Bewegungen deines Gegners genau. Und sei vor allem...
So muss das sein. Ja.
I'm pretty sure you can swap between characters in Royal, which was not in the original version of the game, so I'm wondering when that comes into play, because it doesn't look like I can do that right now. I'm guessing you have to unlock the ability to do that through probably that skill tree.
Super. Wir sind fast fertig.
Kommt, gehen wir weiter.
It's on your Steam Deck. If you ever get around to playing it, let me know what you think, because I think Raiden Historia is a really good game. And I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's a little bit slow-paced, and you guys know I'm not the patient type for slow-paced games anymore, but Raiden Historia is worth it. It's a slow burn, but it's the good kind of slow burn. It's not like I'm not gonna talk about the Trail series. I'll save that for another day. Character model froze. I'm not even looking at the combat. I'm just holding the button down and looking at the chat on my other monitor. Because right now it's just so brainless, you don't need to pay attention to it. It's teaching me to warp strike, which I've been doing this whole time. Have I played the Tales of series? I've played Abyss, Vesperia, Grace's F, and there was one on the Vita. And I played Zestiria. I played a lot of them. And I played Exilia 1 and 2. So I've played most of the modern ones. I haven't played any of the older ones that were 2D. My favorite is probably Probably Vesperia.
Mach dir um mich keine Sorgen. Gut.
I did not like Grace's F. I played through all of Grace's F and I thought it was awful. Trash.
Ein Anruf?
And I think that recently got a port, and I'm sure it's just as bad as the original. Hearts R, I like the combat system. I could not tell you what the story was about. But for a Vita game, Vita had a lot of good action RPGs on it. There's also that one by Japan Studio. I forgot what it's called. Soul Sacrifice. That one was pretty good. It's like a Monster Hunter clone.
Wir sehen nach.
That's the only other game left on Vita that needs to escape the Vita purgatory. The other was Muramasa Rebirth, which thankfully we're getting a PC port of that.
Gibt's eine Spur?
Ja. Eine Hütte direkt um die
This
Ecke.
game was designed for live streaming. I unintentionally picked the optimal stream game where I don't need to pay attention to the gameplay and I can look at the chat. Estrella, my next video is going to be on Ys 1. I already wrote the script and I recorded half of the game. I'm going to be talking about the bump combat. I love Ys 1. That's going to be the only spoiler. I think Ys 1, and it comes bundled with 2, but Ys 1 is really good. It's like the perfect palate cleanser. It's the little dessert after the meal.
Noct! Von wegen! Alles klar?
Danke, Mann.
Blades of Fire. I know of that game. That's from Mercury Steam. I considered getting it. The forging part of it looked cool, but the rest of it looked like it was just trying to copy Dark Souls. And I think I've had enough of the Dark Souls clones for a few weeks. I'm Dark Souls'd out after my last Dark Souls video. What's the licensed song in this game, aside from the one when you're pushing the car, Stand By Me? I don't think it has any other licensed music. Although Yoko Shimomura's music from this game gets copyright flagged on YouTube for some reason. My Final Fantasy XII video, the last one I made, I had a little teaser for this game at the end, and I had a song from it that plays. And I had to cut it out from the video because Square Enix copyright claimed it. Department Heaven series. I've played a few hours of... What is it? Not Yggdra Union. Riviera the Promised Land, which is pretty good. I like that game. I haven't finished it, but I really like how all of your attack options are consumable items. I thought that was pretty unique. And then Nights in the Nightmare, which... I don't know, maybe that's a video someday, because there's just way too much to talk about with that game. It's like the most complex game I've ever played in my life, in a good way.
Diese Spezies wird Tao Ti genannt. Sie spießt ihre Beute mit den Stoßzähnen auf und reißt sie so aus der Geborgenheit ihres Bauchs.
Das ist aber nicht
Have I played Crosscode? I've played it. I haven't finished it. I think I stopped after 20 hours or something like that. I thought it was decent. It's like a Zelda clone, kind of. I like the dungeons. There's a lot of puzzle solving in there, and they were actually getting pretty challenging towards the end. But it's another one of those games where it's like there's just so much talking and it was driving me crazy. I don't have the patience I did when I was a teenager. I used to play 100-hour RPGs and not care, but just I don't have the patience for that anymore.
Noct, ich deck dir den Rücken. Ich verlass mich drauf.
Oh, that Blades of Fire is like a Metroidvania game? I didn't know that. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $30 during this Steam sale. I might have to look into it. I like Mercury Steam's last game, Metroid Dread. That was probably the last good Metroid game and that we'll ever see. We'll never see another decent one again.
Dave, der Jäger, nehme ich mal an. Wir haben dich gesucht. Alles in Ordnung?
Crosscode stinks. It's just too slow.
nett von euch. Ich hab mir den Knöchel verstaucht und
I don't mind the dungeons part of it, but it's all the in-between part. The drama of, like, the girl lost her memories or something like that. I kind of zone out after a cutscene lasts longer than like a minute or two.
Ihr seht mir zwar nicht wie Jäger aus, aber vielleicht habt ihr ja Mumm.
I need to get around to playing Yggdra Union. That's like a... Oh, I don't even know what you said, dude. Do it for a price. Yggdra Union is cool because I'm like on my strategy game kick right now. I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles and XCOM 2. That's like my thing right now. Is I get hooked on one genre and then all I do is play those types of games. So I should probably get around to playing Yggdra Union at some point. But isn't it a sequel to Riviera? I might have to finish that one first. Play the demo for Metroid Dread. I didn't even know Metroid Dread had a demo. You know, Metroid Dread, I played it twice. The first time I really liked it. Second time, not so much. But I still think it's worth playing through at least once.
Ich schlage vor, dass wir rasten und uns gründlich vorbereiten.
Shut up, dude. Ever try Ark the Lad? I know of it. I think that's a strategy series from the PS1. But I've never played it. I haven't... I don't know. I might give the impression that I've played every game out there. But I know of almost every game. I haven't played half of them. Unfortunately, the cars don't run you over. Look how far in advance they stop. You know what? This version of the game comes with an accessory to give you unlimited stamina. I just remembered that. Because even they knew the stamina was totally pointless in this game. It doesn't have a role in combat. Your stamina doesn't restrict your ability to attack. It's just for sprinting. There's no platforming. It's just for sprinting. It is such a useless mechanic that shouldn't exist. But instead of patching it out of this port, they just give you an accessory to ignore it. I don't know why. Just waste an accessory slot for the bare minimum. What do you call it? Convenience. It's your convenience fee. Every game in the future will be Persona, GTA, Soulstorm, Chimeras. The amount of people that I've seen that are excited for Persona 4 remake, whatever it's called, it literally looks like the exact game I played. When was it? 17 years ago? I saw nothing different about it. Maybe you can knock enemies over in combat, but outside of that, it looked like the same cutscenes. They didn't change anything about it. What was the point of remaking that game? They should be remaking Persona 1 and 2, because the combat in those games is insufferable. You shouldn't be remaking Persona 4. Golden is like, just play that. It's already on like every console. It's so easy to run. What's the point of, just because people really like Persona 4, they know they'll buy the remake? Favorite modern Square Enix game? I don't know, probably Remake or Rebirth. Not for the story, just for the combat. I'm not excited for whatever the third part of the Remake trilogy is called for the story, just for the gameplay. I couldn't care less about what happens with the story. After the ending of Rebirth, just do whatever you want with it at this point. It's just fan fiction. I don't even know if they have an idea of what they're doing with that story. I'm interested in 6. Persona 6. They showed nothing of Persona 6. It was just a teaser that was green. And there was like a hand. Once they show what the gameplay is like, or if they show... Once they show the story, maybe then I can say I'm interested, I'm not interested. But right now, it's just like, by the way, this game is being made. As if we didn't know. People are scared of PS2 graphics. I guess that's true. I really like PS2 graphics. Like Shadow of the Colossus, the PS2 version just... Like, I can admit the PS4 version of that game... I don't know what you said, dude. Sure, fix it up. The PS4 version of Shadow of the Colossus, it looks really nice, but... The tone, they ruined the tone of the game. The PS2 version is just unmatched. And I don't care if it's because of console limitations, because I know that game runs like dog shit on the PS2. It runs terrible, but even so, it's worth it because the tone of that game, they didn't even try to replicate it with the remake. PSP version of Persona 2. I only played the PSP version of Persona 1. That's a rough game to play. That game, I'm not in favor of remakes, but that game is rough. I don't think anyone that starts with Persona 4 or 5 can reasonably be expected to enjoy Persona 1. That is a very tough game to stomach. In that game, you can accidentally recruit your permanent final party and not even realize that you wasted slots on party members that you don't want. You have to be very particular with which characters you recruit, and you don't even know because they don't tell you. And the combat system in that game is just trash. So that's a prime candidate for a remake. They should just remake that, honestly. People who only watch YouTube playthroughs are gonna love Persona 6. That's just Persona fans. They don't play the games. They just watch the cutscenes on YouTube. I would do the same thing, honestly. I would just play like a Shin Megami Tensei game for the gameplay and then just watch the cutscenes of Persona on YouTube. Or just watch the anime. I'm sure it's the same thing. Didn't they remake the anime for Persona 4? I'm pretty sure there's 2 versions of the Persona 4 anime. You want to talk about milking a property. How do you remake an anime? Like 2 years after the original came out. Turn-based RPG with a ton of depth. Isn't that what ATB was supposed to solve? Was to make it, to add an element of real time to make it more exciting? Because if you have unlimited time to think about your actions, then it's kind of like you can solve the problem before it even becomes a problem. It's like even chess, if you play chess, you're timed. You don't have unlimited time to think about each play because then, you know, it would be too easy. You could think about all the conceivable options. That's why even in my Final Fantasy XII video, I said it pays to play that game with ATB active as opposed to wait. You play it on wait, it's like, you're just playing a regular turn-based game at that point. You're ruining the whole appeal of it being real-time.
Redet euch einfach ein, ihr würdet zum Auto laufen.
They should remake bad games. I've said that before. I'm sure other people have said it too. Those are the games that should be remade. Why are you remaking something that's already perfect?
Ist ja fast so schade zum Fahren.
Wonder if Resonance will be good. Resonance, as far as I know, I don't know if it's a direct port of the gacha Brave Exvius, or maybe it's like an enhanced version of it, but you're working with like a pretty uninteresting template already. I don't know why you'd want to base it off a gacha. I'd rather they just do something new. But I know people really like that gacha. There's another Final Fantasy mobile game that people really like. I think it's called Mobius Final Fantasy. It wound up being cancelled, and I know people miss that game.
Muss das sein?
Jetzt komm schon, Noct.
Also, ich war so frei, die Fracht schon im Kofferraum zu verstauen.
You know a game is rough when Rush Hour says go ahead and remake it.
Die Lieferung ist für den Besitzer.
I mean,
Ich zähle auf euch.
didn't they remake Last of Us twice already? I don't know what they're doing. It's like,
Jetzt, wo der Wagen frisch gewartet ist.
you should be remaking the games that need their combat system overhauled. That's why I said Persona 1 and 2 are prime. Those are prime targets to be remade, because ain't nobody wants to play those combat systems. Even when the games came out, that's why they never caught on. For as interesting as you might think the world is, it's not worth suffering through that gameplay. Let me buy some car music. Oh yeah. That's the good shit. 4 and 5, 4 and 8. That's what I'm talking about. I should have had 9 also. I think you unlock the other soundtracks as you play through the game, or maybe you get them from other shops. One minute. You guys ready for 1 minute of putting the controller down? People play chess matches over months through email. There was, when mobile gaming was still new, I think that's how I played like Scrabble or one of those board games that was adapted for phones, and it was like you match up with an opponent and you just take as long as you want between turns. You could spend like a week playing one game.
Eigentlich nichts dagegen. Vielleicht freut sich eine gewisse Mechanikerin ja.
Ach, daher weht der Wind. Kannst du ja den
Pian
Regal
03. I played that for the first time 2 months ago.
Wie sieht das denn aus?
I'm sorry, Shinji Mikami. That game is so bad. That is so trash. It's like the prototype for Vanquish, but it is a prototype. It is not. That game was not ready for prime time. That's not a finished game. That is rough. That PN03 is a cover shooter, and it tries to be stylish with the animations, but it's just like very simplistic. I guess he was trying to make it like an arcade game, but it didn't work at all. It's very clunky. If you want to play like the clunkiest cover shooter you've ever seen, unfinished, try out PN03. Don't buy it. I'm pretty sure the physical copy is probably like $500 at this point. Just download it. That's why they should remake it. That's another one they should remake. Yeah, round up all the games that have potential but were executed poorly and just remake those. I tell you, chat has been way more entertaining than the game. I haven't been paying attention to any of this. I was planning on critiquing this game as I go, but I've been zoning out. I've been playing on autopilot. I'm not sure what's going on. I vaguely remember this. This is Lunafreya's dog, and they have like little diary entries back and forth with the dog, which makes no sense because Noctis has a cell phone. Why wouldn't you just text her, "Hey babe, what's up?" Why do you need to write little love notes and send them with the dog? It doesn't make sense to me. Do you pirate games? Hell yeah, I do. How else am I gonna play Panzer Dragoon Saga? Every Japanese developer, after they've made a game 5 years later, the source code magically disappears, and they're like, there's nothing we can do. How else am I gonna play them? They have to pirate them. Can you play in a game? Allegedly. I played a little bit. Remember, I was holding down a button fighting those rad scorpions for like 2 minutes? I don't know if these options even mean anything. I don't know if they affect the story at all. Maybe it affects some dialogue options later on. Kind of like how Final Fantasy VII, you can accidentally date Barrett if you choose all the wrong choices for the girls.
Pass gut auf dich auf. Du sagst es mir sicher sowieso nicht, aber...
Dann spar dir die Frage.
Wofür ist das Buch? War ein Versuch wert.
Unsere Pflicht ist getan. Wir sollten zum Galdin-Kai weiterfahren.
I think this is like a 2 minute auto. Yep, 2 minutes of putting the controller down.
Okay.
So, los geht's.
We have decompilations now. People were saying that Star Fox got decompiled. I'm not even sure what that means. Is that just like it's a native PC port? There was... What was it called? It was, I don't know if it was a recompilation or decompilation of Twilight Princess. I played that 2 months ago. That was like second favorite Zelda game I've ever played. And the first time I played Twilight Princess, I made it about 5 hours in, and I was like, I hate this game. But I played the decompilation with some quality of life features, like you can instantly morph into dog form, which is so common sense, I don't know why it's not in the original version. And Twilight Princess, playing it through recently, that's a top tier Zelda game right there. Yellow Taxi goes room. I know of it. I haven't played it. But there is another game, I don't know if it's by the same devs, called Denshi Attack, where you play as like a train in Japan or something like that, and you do tricks. And that kind of looks similar to that. That looks more interesting to me than playing as a little taxi going to room. I'd rather play as a train doing backflips and grinding on walls. I think that was supposed to come out this month, but it got delayed to accommodate the consoles. I don't know why. Why do we have to have this console parity? Just play games on PC at this point. Isn't the Xbox Series X like $800 now?
Noct.
What's the point?
Nachts ist es zu gefährlich. Lass uns irgendwo übernachten.
Train in Japan. What a bitch. Let me take over.
Kein Problem, bin auch fit.
Von mir aus.
Aber
Yeah, I know it's a
Fahr bitte
platformer. I
vorsichtig.
think it's a score-based one too. I've seen gameplay footage of it.
Noct. Willst du wirklich noch fahren?
It looks okay. Just
Es ist
I'm not
ziemlich
really
dunkel.
big
das
on
bekomme ich gerade noch
the art style. Believe it or not,
Ignis.
I do judge a book by its cover, and I know it's a really bad habit, but if I don't like how a game looks, I won't play it.
Schnallt
I might
euch
give it a
an.
shot someday. It's not out of the question. Then should attack the initial D1. I'm not sure. I think it kind of reminds me of like a Sonic game. You just go real fast and do tricks.
Was geht denn hier ab?
Sicher? Auf der Straße?
Was? Echt jetzt?
Eins weiß ich. Wir steigen besser nicht
This makes
aus.
no sense. They run into a monster in the road, so they step out of the car. Wouldn't you just turn around and drive in the other direction? Why would you get out of the car? And they don't damage the car either.
Wirklich? Schon wieder?
Ihnen wird Hören und Sehen vergehen.
Okay, that's why Ignis was saying let's turn around, because it's nighttime and monsters spawn on the road. Well, now I'm screwed.
Sieh mal an. Jetzt wird's interessant.
I wonder if I could just run past him. Why would you get out of the car? That makes no sense. Loved your video on Vagrant Story. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I have not made any videos about my top favorite games, but that's definitely up there. Top 10. Just based on present. I'm a big stickler on gameplay. I don't think Vagrant Story has amazing gameplay, but goddamn does it make up for it with everything else. I'm sure people are going to be saying, remake Vagrant Story, port it on Steam. And you know what? If they were to remake Vagrant Story, change the gameplay, make it real time. Like, I kind of like what they were going for, making like Parasite Eve, but with melee combat, but I don't think it worked all that well. That's a game where if you were going to remake that, I would be in favor of making it just like a real-time action game. The game doesn't appeal to me visually, it's a fair reason to not play it. It's really is judging a book by its cover, and I wish I wasn't like that, because I know people... I'll give you an example, Earthbound. I can't play Earthbound. I physically cannot play Earthbound, and it's not because it's a bad game. It's not because I don't like the premise of it. I like the modern setting. I even like the music. Just, I don't like how it looks. To me, the visuals, I can't even say what exactly about it I don't like. Maybe it's the character design. I do not like how it looks. To me, it looks unappealing.
Mann, kann immer noch nicht glauben, dass du heiratest. Wie fühlt man sich so kurz vor dem großen Augenblick?
Wie immer.
Ach, Noct.
I like how I abandoned my car, my $80,000 car, because one little monster got in the road, and just I hoofed it the rest of the way on foot.
Ja.
New Metroid Prime 4 video when? When they actually make a good Metroid Prime 4. I was the first Metroid Prime 4 hater, let it be known. I took the brunt of the impact from the internet when I said, I don't know guys, I don't know about this game. I don't really have faith in it, and people were like, it's gonna be like Metroid Prime 1, you don't know what you're talking about. Lo and behold,
Ich habe schlechte Neuigkeiten.
everyone else made a video shitting all over that game, and I just sat back and I watched the show. I was not going to waste my life. That game, I wouldn't play it for free. I have no interest in it. That's not a Metroid game.
Ein gestrandeter Wanderer wie ihr. Ich sehne mich nach meinem Zuhause. Und alles nur
You
wegen
can
des
open doors.
Waffenstillstands.
You can open doors with the power of your mind. Don't forget, that's the most important part. It's not like a key opening the door. That's too primitive. Any interest in talking about Fire Emblem? Yes.
Euer Taschengeld.
Absolutely. I might make a video on that because I'm not
Ein Wanderer.
okay. I'll be succinct. First time I played Fire Emblem, I didn't like it. I eventually opened up to it. I started playing all the games. I was like, I like Radiant Dawn. I kind of like Awakening. I really liked Echoes. And then when they made Three Houses, interest plummeted straight to zero. And it was kind of there with Fates a little bit. I didn't even play... I played Conquest Birthright. I didn't play the third route. I played a little bit of it and I was like, I'm kind of burnt out of this. But then with Three Houses, I couldn't take it anymore. Like, it was already leaning towards the social link aspect of the game more than the strategy part. And that's not at all what I want from a strategy game. I want strategy gameplay. I don't want to play matchmaker with all these different colored hair weirdos. I want to play strategy gameplay. Which is why I've been playing XCOM 2, because it's like, just make a random character and just go out into battle with them, and if they die, they die. I don't really care. I don't care about the narrative part of it. And I think if you're a modern fan of Fire Emblem, you have to be in it for the narrative, because how do you suffer 60 hours of a game and not care about the story? It's like impossible. But the older Fire Emblem games, I don't know. I played a little bit of, what is it called? Blazing Blade. The first Game Boy Advance one that was localized. And even that, like the Lyn campaign is like the most drawn out tutorial you've ever seen in your life. There's no reason for it to be that long. Although once you beat the game, you can skip over it, because even they knew, they're like, who would ever want to play through this again? So, I have a lot to say about Fire Emblem. I might make a video about it someday, just because it's too much to talk about right now.
Was liegt denn an?
The new Fire Emblem games of Dogwater. I thought, what was the one after Three Houses? Engage, I think that's what it was called. I like the map design in that game, and I like that it cut out some of the Persona parts, like it cut out the calendar stuff. It still had, like, having tea time with your companions and, like, little workout sessions with them, and I didn't like that. But at least the map design felt like a step up over Three Houses. But now, that game didn't sell well compared to Three Houses. You notice when Engage came out, all the people that started with Three Houses were like, this game is shit. Why did you do this? Why did you ruin Fire Emblem? And I was like, what are you talking about? They're finally trying to course correct here. And of course now with this new one, they're like, okay, we'll give the players what they want. They want Persona, let's give them Persona. And now I'm just completely disinterested. Yeah, Path of Radiance was kind of the sweet spot for the relationship stuff, because it still had, like, playing matchmaker, but because it was a linear progression, you didn't have a hub that you could walk around in and chat with everyone. It didn't feel as overtly focused on the relationship part of it. It was there, but you could ignore it, and I did ignore it. So that's why it didn't bother me. But then with Awakening and really Fates, they're like, let's give you a hub and you can walk around and have, like, I think in the Japanese version of Fates, you can, like, take a bath with the characters or something like that, or you could pet them. And then when they removed that minigame from the localization, everyone was like, how dare you? I want to pet the characters. I don't care about that. The regalia closer to the pump. Oh god. Yeah, I skipped the story in Engage. I skipped the cutscenes in everything now, man. Because in my mind, it's like, am I going to remember? I ask myself this question when I'm playing a game. Am I going to remember the story? And if the answer is no, I'm not going to remember, why am I watching the cutscenes? Like, nothing against the game. It's just I don't have the attention span for that. Isn't there a way to summon the car? There's gotta be. Three Houses in Monster Hunter World. If you mean in terms of that's the one where everyone started with it, yes. And Monster Hunter World, don't even get me started on that game. Jesus Christ. I'm not one of those people that sucks off Monster Hunter World and is like, this is This is when it got really good. No, not at all. That was all of the problems in Wilds were present in World to a lesser extent. Wilds just kind of blew it up and it's like, okay, just cut out all the hunting. I think I can sleep at that camp and pass the time until day and then get my car. I tried Advanced Wars. I haven't. And honestly, that might be more for me because I know it's by the same developers of Fire Emblem, but with more emphasis on the strategy gameplay and less emphasis on the RPG and the matchmaker part. But didn't they get a remake on Switch? I thought that had like, that was one of the most ugliest remakes I've ever seen in my life. The remake of Advanced Wars, Reboot Camp, whatever it was called. What the hell were they thinking with that? Did I play the Onimusha demo? I did. I talked about it in my... I don't remember what the video is called. It's a video where I talk about the Nintendo Direct. I have like a 7 or 8 minute segment on the Onimusha demo. So, if you want to hear my full thoughts on that game, that's about the extent that I'm willing to talk about it. I'm not playing that game. That is not Onimusha. At all. It's not even that it's Parry Slop. It's that... it's just not Onimusha. It's Batman. Like, if you want to play Batman, here you go. Here's Batman set in feudal Japan. That's really what it is. It even straight down to the Bat Vision. You hold down a button to like sense where some glowing object is that you have to hit to open a door. It's a total Batman ripoff. It is not Onimusha. I don't know what that is. How can Nintendo turn Fire Emblem into Breath of the Wild? They're turning every game into Breath of the Wild. They turned Metroid into Breath of the Wild. That's why Metroid Prime 4 is like, you have your little hub and you talk to the characters that are there and they're like, oh, Samus, oh, nice gun arm. Let me show you how to... like, Samus doesn't know how to use her gun arm. They're like, you can use missiles to open up the weak point on armored enemies. Why are you telling this to Samus? Like, she doesn't know how to use her own... her own... it's not even... it's like a gun. She's the only person in the entire galaxy that has this weapon, and they're telling her how to use it.
Hier draußen sind Ränge und Namen nicht viel wert.
Besser als das Gehabe bei Hof. Schlaucht alles ganz schön.
Ja.
Reboot Camp was delayed due to the Ukraine war. I know. They sat on that game for a year and did nothing with it. And then they still had the gall to charge $60 a year later. And it looks so bad. Was it the Shantae developers that worked on it? Way Forward? It's another... I can't get into their games because of the art style. I don't know what it is about it.
Was ist es?
Was hast du, Ignis?
Mir ist ein neues Rezept eingefallen.
Da bin ich aber gespannt.
Do I need to bend down to pick these up? Why can't I just run into them? Xenoblade solved this. The little glowing objects on the map in Xenoblade, you just run into them and it tells you what you got. You don't need to bend down to pick them up. The Onish movement. I like how you phrase that. It does feel very satisfying to move around in Onimusha because you got that... when you backdash, it's like a glide. And you can like glide sidestep around enemies too. You're like sliding like an ice rink all over the field. It's really satisfying to play Onimusha. And it's nothing like that. It's so slow. It plays like this. The Onimusha demo, it plays like Final Fantasy 15. It doesn't play like Onimusha at all. Yapping slop. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm yapping playing slop.
Lasst nichts liegen.
Okay.
Los geht's.
They nerfed enemy. Yeah, enemy grabs. You can parry the grabs. When you're about to be grabbed, there's like a message pop up that says, you can't parry grabs, but what you can do is you can dodge out of them. At the exact frame when they start to flash. What do you think that is? That's a parry. That game has 3 different parries. Like, on top of Isen. So it's got like 4 different counters. What is that? It's Sekiro. Not even Sekiro has that many different counter options to it.
Sehen wir uns mal etwas um.
Also los, Bewegung.
You even control the car. You can, but asterisk. There's no point. There's no point to controlling it because you can't go off-road and you can't drive at night because monsters spawn on the road. And when they spawn, for whatever insane reason, you find it prudent to step out of your car and run from the monsters instead of just driving away from them. So it's just easier to have Ignis drive you everywhere. And I think once you unlock, whenever you visit an area for the first time, you unlock it as a fast travel point. You can just fast travel there. This is forced walking, by the way. I can't run. I can't get out of the crouch. And if I walk into the bird, it won't even matter. This is fake gameplay right here. And it turns into a cutscene. Can you power slide? You can pull a U-turn. That's about it. I did see there's like an off-road vehicle. Still walking, by the way. Even though this guy flew away. I can't even control the camera. I think there's an off-road vehicle in this game. I'm not 100% sure. That might have been something added with the Royal Edition. But the base car, the Regalia, can't off-road. I'll try to show you. I'll try to drive the car manually right now to show you how bad the driving is in this game. Because it has like a magnetic attraction to the road. If you try to veer out of even the lane, it'll automatically drift back into the proper lane. I've not played a game with driving this bad aside from Deadly Premonition. Oh, I can't even drive it manually. Can I fast travel?
Neuer Tag, neues Glück.
Ja,
Auf geht's.
Oh, I forgot about the music. What is Afrojack? I've never heard of Afrojack. No, I don't know. There must be some Japanese gacha, maybe. 15. 15. Dude, where's the music I bought? There we go. Something familiar. Song was from the movie. You know, I did see Kingsglaive, but I can't remember a damn thing about it. I watched it in preparation for this game, like, I'm gonna get really invested in this universe. And I should have known just from watching the movie. I'm like, I don't even know what happened in this movie. I've watched every Final Fantasy movie. I can't tell you what happens in any of them. Nothing happens. There's no story in any of them. There's no story in Advent Children. There's no story in Spirits Within.
Wir dürfen nicht vergessen, uns mit Heilmitteln einzudecken.
Überraschend vernünftig von dir.
Next Final Fantasy will be a GTA clone. I predict the next Final Fantasy is going to be an Expedition 33 clone. Because the amount of people that I've seen saying, this is what Final Fantasy should be. If they want to have real-time, copy the real-time elements from Expedition 33. This is the future of turn-based. That's going to be the next Final Fantasy. It's going to copy Expedition. And you know what? I want no part of that. Nothing against Expedition 33. I never said I hate that game. I never said it was a bad game. But if you look at the comments in that, people will think like, I'm the Antichrist. Like, how dare you speak such blasphemy? I said it was alright. Which it is. That game is alright. It is not mind-blowing. I challenge anyone that played that game when it was out, when it was new, Play it again. It's been a year. Go back and replay it and tell me it's your favorite game of all time. I challenge you to do that. Replay that game. It's been a year. There's plenty of time has passed. Replay it and tell me it's the greatest game of all time. I don't even think the people played the free DLC that came out, like at the end of last year for that game.
Da kommt mir der Klunker gerade recht. Als Entschädigung gibt's auch eine kleine Info. Das Geschenk des Fremden ist eine Gedenkmünze zum Amtsantritt der Kanagi. Der schrille Typ hat noch mehr davon verteilt. Könnte
Yeah, Act 1. Act 1 in Expedition 33, if it ended 10 hours in, I would have clapped, I would have said, that was good. It was a good short little game. I would have been happy with it. I like that character. I don't even remember his name. The character that dies. I won't spoil it. I guess I already did. The character, the initial main character, I like that arc of the game. But once they introduce the replacement, it starts going downhill.
Was eure Überfahrt betrifft, ich bin am Ball. Das bin ich euch schuldig. Der Stein ist echt klasse. Sieht auch gut aus momentan. Wenn ihr soweit seid, meldet euch einfach.
Wer hätte gedacht, dass dieser windige Kerl sein Wort...
Yeah, I said as much, Phoenix, that the real-time elements of Expedition 33 have been done before. They've been done before in Paper Mario. That's like the base template for Expedition 33 is Paper Mario. Because it's got the defensive and the offensive part of real-time combat, where you can time when the enemy attacks you, you can time the blocks, and you can also time the little actions to deal extra damage to them. It's the same. And yet, how many people are saying Paper Mario is the greatest thing ever invented? Nobody. It really is because Expedition 33, it doesn't look like Final Fantasy 15. It doesn't look anime. It looks realistic. It's got a more serious tone to it. That's it's the presentation, I'm telling you. That's the reason why that game did gangbusters, is because it was an RPG for people that don't like RPGs. If you don't like the anime, the Japanese aesthetic, you like it like more Western art direction, more realistic. That's all it is. You take that game and you give them like rainbow colored hair, like it's a Trials game, or what is it? Trails game. Give them colored hair like in the Trails series, and then nobody would be praising it. Why did I come to the car? I'm not even paying attention to the game. Didn't this cocksucker say he was gonna get me tickets? There are people that love Thousand Year Door. And that's another game where I saw when they released the remaster or remake, whatever you want to call it, people realized just how slow paced that game is. They were like, I don't know, man. They're kind of talking a lot in this game. I kind of want to get to the point already. Trust me, that game is also very slowly paced. And people didn't realize it. I get it. You played it when you were a kid. I did too. I thought it was cool. I played the original Paper Mario when I was a kid. I'm like, sweet. And I tried to replay it and I was like, it's okay.
Diese schwüle Luft. Na, habt ihr schon gepackt?
Yeah, I'm packed. Go.
Mensch, seid ihr fix? Das Schiff fährt erst morgen.
Lost Odyssey real-time elements are pretty minimal. They are, which is good, because it doesn't overshadow the strategic part of the gameplay. It doesn't revolve around the real-time elements. It's just like an enhancement, like if you want to deal critical damage during a melee attack. Legend of Dragoon is another I enjoy. That's one that I have never gotten around to playing. I know of it, but I don't know. As far as like PS1 RPGs go, I'm not hard pressed for finding a JRPG on the PS1, so I guess that's why I never got around to playing Legend of Dragoon, but I should probably get around to it someday. It does look pretty interesting.
Gutes Foto.
Gutes Foto. Save that one. This is one part of the game that I do think is interesting. The pictures that you save here, it shows you like a little collage at the end of the game, like the memories of your journey. I think that was tastefully done. I'll save the dog. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is essentially a Divinity game. It plays more like Divinity Original Sin than it does the original Baldur's Gate games. To be fair, the presentation of it is better because it actually shows the 3D models close up and they're animated rather than having it just be like a little text box with a little portrait. This makes no sense. Why are you showing the montage of what happened in the movie? It makes no sense. It's like, go watch the movie. This is just an advertisement. You want to know what happens in this story, the reason why this game even exists? We don't include it in the game, you need to watch the movie. Was it also the Ratchet & Clank remake that showed footage from the movie during the gameplay as a replacement for the cutscenes? I think it was. Bad call. Don't ever do that. Keep the movie and the game separate.
Oh, Noct.
The worst part of this is, it shows that little montage of clips from the movie, and it winds up not even mattering because you don't even know what happens there. And they tell you here in this cutscene. He reads the newspaper and they're like, Insomnia under attack. And I don't even know why he has to pick up the newspaper. They have cell phones in this game.
Was ist?
You don't just like, check Washington Post, you wake up in the morning and then just browse the news website on your phone. You gotta pick up a newspaper?
Insomnia. In Trümmern.
Hä? Soll das ein Witz sein? Ich erkläre dir alles. Beruhig dich. Ich bin die Ruhe selbst, Mann! Es gab einen Angriff. Die Armee des Imperiums hat die Königstadt eingenommen.
Während der Unterzeichnung gab es Explosionen. Als sich der Rauch
PS4 game was a remake or reboot. I think it was a remake because it's sort of the same story. I guess it's a reimagining. It's kind of the same story beats, but like Ratchet's not as much of an asshole for some reason. They softened his character a lot. And they also cut out a lot of the levels. The best part of the original Ratchet & Clank is almost every single world has like 2 or 3 routes that you can take. And like with each successive entry in the series, they kind of made it like, they got rid of the branching paths and they made it just more linear.
Was wissen wir sonst?
It's like that was the whole appeal of the Ratchet & Clank trilogy for me, was you had those different routes to go through each world. It wasn't just one set path. And then, I don't know what they were doing with that series. Like Rift Apart was so disappointing.
Noct?
Wir gehen.
I would prefer if they only used a movie for cutscenes instead of having 20 hours of cutscenes no one would watch. If your game's cutscenes can be distilled into a movie, why wouldn't I just watch the movie? I'm such a stickler against video game stories, but like if you can make all of your cutscenes a movie, I'd rather just spend an hour and a half watching the movie than spending 20 hours watching cutscenes. How did I get in first person mode? How do I change this?
Spekulationen bringen uns nichts. Wir brauchen Gewissheit.
Gewiss sind einzig die Lügen.
There we go.
So wie der Waffenstillstand.
Look how much of this game is spent not doing anything. This is a cutscene, but you can't skip it because it's taking place in real time. So you just sit and wait in this car. You can't even change the music right now. You can't even listen to the classic Final Fantasy music. You just sit in this car and wait for 2 minutes as it drives. I'm not touching the controller at all. It's sitting on my lap. I'm just watching a cutscene play out. But would this be improved if it was like Final Fantasy VII Remake and it was you hold up on the stick, so it's the illusion of gameplay? That's basically the same thing as this. It's not gameplay. Anyone that tries to defend it as gameplay, if you like Force Walking, that's fine, but it really is not playing a game. So much of these modern games, you're not playing a game anymore. I'm not playing the game right now. You won't even let me turn into this. This would be cool if it was like find a way around and I have to manually drive the car and look for an alternate route, but you don't do that. It's all out of your control. What is the worst indie game I've played? I don't play very many indie games. I can't even say. There's no indie game I can think of that I would say is terrible. I'm sure there are some that aren't great, but I don't play very many of them. And if I did, I certainly wouldn't make more videos about them after seeing how defensive people got over my Hollow Knight video. I looked at the metrics for my Hollow Knight video. Like 60% of the viewers, it said they were ages like 13 to 17. Which did not surprise me one bit. The only way you can think Hollow Knight is the greatest game, the greatest Metroidvania, is if you haven't played very many of them. Or if you're a huge fan of Dark Souls, I guess. Which I'm not, so that might explain it. But yeah, I can't think of any indie game that I would say is bad. If any indie games, most of them, even if I don't like them, I can at least acknowledge that they put in some effort to making this thing. Like, they feel more passionate. I feel more passion from indie games than I do from something like this. Mixtape style gameplay? That doesn't even make sense. Mixtape has no gameplay. Well, if you guys haven't seen David Jaffe's streams, just pick one at random. They're all like that video I made. Every single one of them is gold. That guy is hilarious, unintentionally hilarious. And he is a fervent admirer of Mixtape for whatever godforsaken reason. I have no idea why. I don't know if he did a playthrough of it. If he did, I have to find out. Because he's like the biggest supporter of Mixtape. I have to think he's trolling. I don't know if he's serious. I don't know if I believe him. There's no way someone can think that. And you know, there's no games this year that came out that are worthwhile, but I still don't think Mixtape is even worth talking about. It's not even that it's bad, it's just that there's nothing noteworthy about it. Too many word syndrome. I don't know who it is. Someone made a really great video. I forgot what it's called. He's like, games need to shut up. And I was like, this guy knows it. He knows what he's talking about. Games do need to shut up. You don't need to talk all the time. Just let me enjoy the music. If you're talking, I can't even enjoy the music. Sea of Stars felt terrible. That game was pushed so hard when it came out, and I think that's what turned me off from playing it. And it felt very unnatural with how many people were praising that game as the next Chrono Trigger. I don't know if it was inspired by Chrono Trigger or what, but I was not falling for that. Zero Passion went into Vampire Survivor. Yeah. What's the story behind that? That guy worked on in a casino, or he designed slot machines or something like that. So he preyed on people's addictive tendencies to gamble. But at least, as far as I know, that game doesn't have microtransactions, so I wouldn't say it's like an insidious game or anything like that. It's just whatever. Probably won't be any new games from me this year. There's nothing that I'm excited for, but I'll probably check out Splatoon Raiders just because I do like the Splatoon series. Although I'm not a huge fan of Salmon Run, and that looks like it's... You know, I'm not even playing this game. Splatoon Raiders looks like a single-player Salmon Run to me. I don't know, maybe there's more to it than that. First Light is being glazed right now. I watched a full playthrough of First Light. I did not see any gameplay. I couldn't believe the Hitman people worked on that game. Because Hitman is very much like, here's the playground, go. Do whatever you want. And First Light is like just holding your hand the whole way through. I didn't see any gameplay in that game. Maybe there's like some shooting. It's like 5% of the game. In the fist fights, I don't count that as gameplay. That's like Punch-Out. That game is 20% Punch-Out, 70% cutscenes, 10% cover shooter.
Lass an!
Aber, okay.
Lass es aus.
Sea of Stars is inspired by Chrono Trigger. I thought as much. There's another one too. It's not Sea of Stars. It's another turn-based indie game that I think is, quote, inspired by Chrono Trigger. I don't know, is that the new thing? Is that how you get people to play your game? Just say you're inspired by this really popular JRPG from the 90s. It worked for, what is it, Undertale. Just say you're inspired by Earthbound. People, oh, Earthbound! Chained Echoes, that's the one. 90% positive on Steam.
Ich mache mich sofort auf den Weg zu Sid. Das mit Regis.
Movie slap.
Stimmt leider.
I was resisting for the longest time because everything now is slop, 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 slop. I've been like brainwashed at this point. I don't even care anymore. I start saying slop too now. I don't care. Everything is slop to me. This is Final Fantasy slop. It really is. This is slop in Final Fantasy clothing.
Der General? Was sagt er?
Not even Final Fantasy clothing. It was some Italian artist that designed the characters and outfits for this game. This doesn't even look like Final Fantasy. They didn't even give them like iconic designs. Just their hair color is different. The gameplay systems are good, but the game itself is mediocre. And that's the thing is, most things are just average. They're mediocre. Most things are not bad. Most things are not good. They're just middle of the road. But people interpret it like, you say it's mediocre? How dare you? I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's run of the mill. What's your opinion on idle games? I don't play them. You mean like Cookie Clicker, stuff like that? Is that even really is that even really a game? To give this game some credit, at least you have like a party to roll around with. So it's at least got that camaraderie with the different party members. But Final Fantasy 16 doesn't even have that. That's another game where I should probably make a video about it at some point. What went wrong with Final Fantasy 16, because like, even if you like that game, you've got to admit that's not a Final Fantasy game. It's barely even an RPG. Let's be honest. That's not an RPG. Like, just because you level up, that doesn't make it an RPG. Slop is my favorite word. It's slowly becoming my favorite word. It's slop. What makes slop so special is it's such a loaded word. It could mean any number of things. It's whatever you interpret it to be. You just adjective slop or noun slop, like racing slop. That Sonic Crossworlds racing slop, kart racing slop. Not even saying that it's bad. It's just that it's slop. Undertale video when? I haven't played it, man. I don't have an interest in that. I know it kind of has like that bullet dodging part of it to it, kind of like Nights in the Nightmare. But That's another game where it's like you have to be in it for the narrative, and I really just don't care that much about it. But plus, I don't really like games where you play as a bunch of animal creatures. I don't know what it is about them.
Die Niffen hatten's auf den Kristall und den Ring der Lucis abgesehen.
You should try Gigolo PS2. It's a weird boss rush about 2 hours long if you play it on easy. I never heard of it. Gigolo?
Vater hat sich reinlegen lassen.
Ach, Unsinn.
Boss rush. I might check it out.
Mein Vater wusste genau, wie der Hase läuft.
I like boss rush games.
Oder denkst du etwa, hätte sie
I think I've even said as much before. Like, the best part of what modern games do well, I'll give them this credit. They know how to do boss fights. They can make great boss fights, but it's all the stuff in between where it's like, I can take it or leave it. Let's just make a boss rush at that point. Isn't that what Fury is? Fury is like, let's just have it a boss rush. I think that was smart. Just do that. You mean Geo? Oh, Geo, not Gigolo. Geo's Bizarre Adventure. It's a JoJo game made by Capcom. You recommended me an anime game, dude? And I said I would try it out. No, I'll look into it. If it looks interesting, I might give it a shot. Am I losing it? Where's Sid? He's not here. I gotta walk out.
Von Kor für euch. Er sagt, er wartet am Königsgrab auf euch. Das Grab liegt nordwestlich von hier. Auf dem Weg gibt's
The whole game up to this point was just a tutorial. Nothing happened. Now the game can finally begin. Because we're gonna get... I think it's to a dungeon. I hope it's a dungeon. I still can't manually drive the car. Wow. Toho Spell Carnival. People tell me it's like Knights of Nightmare, but I don't see it much. Is it a Toho spin-off game or is it a mainline game? Because I kind of like the Toho mainline games. I haven't played any aside from like that little trilogy arc they had. Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, Perfect Cherry Blossom, and Imperishable Night. Those are the only ones I played, and I like those, but I don't really have too much of an interest in the spin-offs. But if it's like Knights of the Nightmare, it sounds interesting. It's got some weird mechanics, but it's an interesting anime game. Geo Bizarre Adventurer. I'll look into it. It's a Toho spin-off made by Sting. Sting still makes games? I thought they were done. That's surprising. If Sting made it, I might check it out. Toho Spell Carnival. I feel like every single Toho spin-off is called Toho Spell Carnival. I hope they turn Ocarina Majora remakes into Breath of Tears clones. I hope they do something different with them. I hope they're not just straightforward remakes. Get out of the car. I hope they do something interesting with them, because if they just want to do another one-to-one remake, there's no point. Like, I could just play Ocarina right now on the Switch. And Majora. And they still look fine. There's nothing wrong with those games. I mean, I don't really like Majora's Mask, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Didn't need a remake.
Lass das, Mann.
This thing is into police bases. Did he play bass? I thought he was just a singer. It's kind of like, I don't know why I always confuse Sting with Phil Collins. And Phil Collins plays drums, so they're nothing alike, but for some reason I confuse the two all the time. This guy sell weapons.
Bis in Bälde.
Let me check my gear. I didn't even... I seriously, I've just been reading chat this whole time. I've been playing on autopilot. I don't even know what I'm doing in this game. I haven't checked out any of my weapons. What are these? Are any of these good? Oh, they're all the same. What is this? Why do they give you such a powerful sword right away? I feel like it's cheating to use those. I'm not going to use them. Although, I might have some skill points. Combat. Holy crap, I have a lot of AP. Sting is trying to crawl back. Ports of their Japanese Dokapons. Did Sting make Dokapon? Breath of the Wild wasn't... Breath of the Wild is good. I don't know what this pushback against it ever since Tears of the Kingdom came out, where people were like, no, Breath of the Wild was never good. I never liked it. Man, just because all the Breath of the Wild clones aren't good doesn't mean Breath of the Wild itself isn't good. See, I don't hate every modern game. I don't even know what any of these are. Oh, I need to get these initial ones first. Yeah, get that one. I know, Ragnarok's an endgame weapon. What the hell? Why did they give you so early on? I saw there's a bunch of other accessories. I haven't even looked at those yet. I'm sure there's some broken ones that they give you. See even more Breath of the Wild clones. Haven't they kind of died down a bit? I'm not really seeing that many. I guess Genshin Impact is a big one. Big Breath of the Wild clone. But outside of that, is there anything that's like an overt Breath of the Wild copycat? I'm just gonna get some random cheap stuff. I don't think it matters. There's Genshin Impact clones. See, I don't keep up with the gacha game scene, so I have no clue how bad that is. I'm sure it's also... Like, if I'm going to play a game on a phone, I have a PSP emulator on my phone. I just play PSP games. I'm not going to play anything from the App Store. This skill tree is making me dizzy. This seems like an important one. I'll grab that. Now, I made a video talking about the sphere grid for Final Fantasy X, but at least it's easy to understand. This is like too much reading. Maybe not good for streaming. Oh, that's an important one. I'll get that. I feel like I can't read all this because I want to keep up with chat. I don't want to just spend the whole stream quiet reading. Chocobo racing? There's chocobo racing in this game? I don't even remember that. Wait mode. Who would use wait mode? There has to be a node somewhere that lets you unlock the different playable characters. There has to be. I'm missing it. I don't know where it is. Here it is. There it is. Control Ignis. Do I want to control Ignis? I want to control this guy. I'll work on him. There we go. So that's what I'm going to try to get. People didn't know Baroque got spin-offs. Isn't there a Baroque collection on Switch? I think there is. Or it's some other game that starts with a B. I might be confusing it. I don't care about fishing. How do I equip the skills that I got? Maybe I don't equip it. I don't know why they give you all these powerful weapons right at the start. It's like, do you not even want to play the game? Just cheese everything? Does this guy sell any weapons? I'll just buy his weapons.
Wir sind im Geschäft.
Take one of everything.
Man sieht sich.
I played the Neptunia games. I haven't. Aren't those also turn-based? And that's another series where it seems like it's half visual novel. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I got the impression that Neptunia was another game where it's like 50% just cutscenes. Well. I bought a javelin even though I already have one. What is this? Techniques? Final Fantasy X was extremely ball themed. Why didn't they make Tidus use a blitzball? Why did they... Tidus is obviously the better blitzball player than Waka. Why did they give him the sword instead of the blitzball? That never made any sense. Plus, he learns the Jex shot. Waka doesn't learn the Jex shot. Did I seriously just buy the same weapons I already have? Except for him. Secondary weapon. What is this? Is the game even hard enough for the RPG stuff to matter? For this game? No. Maybe towards the end. Maybe if you do the optional dungeons. I mean, you saw I haven't even been paying attention to the combat. It's one button combat. You hold down B and he just auto attacks. And then when it shows you the prompt to parry, you press the button prompt. And that's it. You can throw in like your partner's special attacks every now and then if you get bored. That's about it. I'm not even going to mess with all this stuff. Let me just give him an accessory and call it a day. Prevents the party from leveling up. Let me just give them all this stuff. That should be good enough.
Prinz Noctis, ich freue mich, euch
All I see is visual blabbering in Neptunia. It's what it looks like to me. It looks like one of those games, kind of like Senran Kagura, where it's like, the gameplay kind of looks interesting, but I don't really want to watch half the game just be cutscenes. Is Otogi a stealth game? It is not. Otogi is an action game with bite-sized levels, and it's also part RPG, and the difficulty ramps up halfway through, and you wind up having to replay the older stages to get experience points. It's pretty fun, but it's also kind of It's not one of FromSoft's better games. Yeah, a lot of air combat. It's fun for like the first half of the game, but then once it starts to get grindy, I start to lose it. I haven't played the sequel. I have it. I just haven't gotten around to playing it. I think there's different characters. It might be a little better.
Kor scheint irgendwie nie eine Pause zu machen.
Ja, erst Insomnia, dann Hammerhead, dann das Königsgrab.
Man sollte ihn
You excited for Kingdom Hearts 4?
Wär aber
Dude,
nicht so cool
are
wie
you
der
excited for Kingdom Hearts 4?
Der Name erklärt auch, wie er es aus Insomnia geschafft hat.
You let me know if you're excited, and then I'll let you know if I'm excited.
Das hat nichts mit Glück zu tun.
Du denkst doch nicht im Ernst, er hätte all seine Kämpfe nur durch Zufall überlebt.
Does Final Fantasy have auto-equip? I'm pretty sure all of the Super Nintendo Final Fantasies have an option to auto-equip the best gear.
Was sollen wir überhaupt an einem Grab?
Es hat sicher etwas mit dem Vermächtnis der Lucis zu tun. Wir werden es bald rausfinden.
So viel ist gut.
Birth by Sleep is your favorite Final Fantasy? Birth by Sleep, I would like it because... I should like it more because each campaign is kind of brief. It's like, what, 5 or 6 hours long? Which is perfect. I don't like super long games. But each campaign is kind of like the same thing. You're like going through the same worlds. Maybe there's like 1 or 2 differences between each campaign. But it felt like all the routes in Birth by Sleep were the same game. It's like play the same game 3 times. The story's different, I know, but I just wasn't interested in going through like 80% of it is this exact same worlds.
Das ist also das Königsgrab.
Scheint, als wäre der General
Otogi 2 has less annoying levels. I believe it. That's absolutely a game where it feels like the sequel's opportunity to refine what does and doesn't work.
Ihr habt hergefunden. Gut.
Und jetzt? Was soll ich an einem alten Grab?
Dir die Kraft deiner Ahnen.
I don't know what happened with Sora. Why did they make him look so weird in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Sind dein Erbe.
It felt like he was in a Toy Story world the whole game. They gave him such like a smoothed out, like plasticky look to him. And then Kingdom Hearts 4 looks like it's doing that same style. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me being weird. I don't know.
Kindische Rebellion. Ein König muss sein Volk schützen.
So wie mein Vater es tat.
What is good game realism? If the visuals are realistic but the gameplay isn't, I don't think realistic gameplay is interesting. I don't like in this game you have to stop down to pick up items. You have to drive on the road. Like the realism shackles this game in terms of like the enjoyableness of exploration. It just becomes tedious. And I know a really bad example is Red Dead Redemption 2. It strives so much to be tedious. It strives so much to be realistic with its gameplay that it winds up being tedious. Like, I don't mind realistic visuals, but if you have to have me stop down to pick up every single little blade of grass, you're going too far.
Wusste, dass sein Erbe, dass du die richtigen Entscheidungen treffen würdest.
Hoffentlich hat sich da nicht getäuscht.
Das Schicksal der Lucis liegt in deinen Händen.
This voice acting is so cringe. I forgot that I even have it on German. It doesn't even feel that unnatural at this point. It feels like it was meant to be played in German. Oh yeah, this mode where you drain your health to do the special attack with all the swords at once. Do I actually get to play the game at this point? I don't remember.
Du wirst dich mit deinen Freunden auf die Suche nach der Kraft der Könige machen. Nicht allzu weit von hier liegt noch ein Königsgrab verborgen. Noch immer sind viele Gräber erhalten. Der Weg zu ihnen ist jedoch äußerst gefährlich. Daher werde ich euch eine Weile begleiten. Ich muss mich erst
Nomura
davon
can't still
überzeugen,
be
dass ihr auch
butthurt
alleine
about directing
klarkommt.
versus 13. It certainly seems like it with his Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. That looks exactly like versus 13. like the cinematic direction of it. Maybe not the gameplay, but those cutscenes where he's like flying through skyscraper windows, that looked total versus 13 to me.
Zur Kikatrik-Schanze. Tief in den Ruinen wurde ein Königsgrab gefunden.
Pass besser auf, Noct. Ja doch. Du musst stets wachsam bleiben. Ich weiß. Mann, ey, wie gibt es? Hast du was gesagt?
General, Sie kämpfen immer noch so gut wie früher.
Ha, schön wär's.
Why doesn't John FF15 just pick up things with magic? Why does Cloud have to climb ladders in Final Fantasy VII? Have you seen Advent Children? The dude can fly. He can fly and stay suspended in midair fighting dudes. He defies the laws of physics. Yet he needs to climb ladders. He needs to cross over gaps. There's like a whole dungeon. There's like a train graveyard in Final Fantasy VII Remake. You spend like an hour going through a dungeon to cross some train tracks. He can't just climb down into the train tracks and climb up the other side. You need to fight a boss and go through a whole dungeon. I'm not getting hit. How would I feel if Valkyrie Profile 2 gets a remake? It doesn't need a remake. It needs a port, because it doesn't emulate very well. The PCSX2 emulator is really not that great. And that, I don't know if that game is just hard to emulate, but it kind of has a little bit of stuttering in the battles. So, I don't know, maybe that's another one where Square's like, let's make the game and then delete the source code, because we've got nothing better to do. We'll just remake it. But that game doesn't need a remake, it just needs a port. Port it on PC, that's it. And port the DS game too while you're at it. What is it called? Covenant of the Plume. It emulates a lot better now. I should give it another try. I haven't played it since I made my video.
Danke. Alles im grünen Bereich.
He'll turn Valkyrie Profile into Final Fantasy VII Remake, which would be defeating the entire point of its combat system. Although I did say earlier they should remake Vagrant Story and change the combat system. But the difference is the combat system in Valkyrie Profile is really good. And other games have copied it since then. That's how good it is. Like, what was that indie game, Indivisible? Which is just like a shameless Valkyrie Profile knockoff.
Oh, was für eine hübsche Farbe.
Did I try Elysium Valkyrie? I did. It is not a Valkyrie Profile game at all. But it's alright. I think it's by the same guys that made Wanted Dead, which are also the same guys that were reborn from the ashes of the devs that made Devil's Third, and it shows. I don't think those guys make really great games. I don't know if it's low budget or what, but Valkyrie Elysium, decent action game, not a good Valkyrie Profile. Yeah, the Itagaki Descendant Studio. It's whatever. I don't emulate very many Xbox games right now. It's just it. The Xbox emulator, that's why I was hesitant on playing Genma Onimusha, because if you look at the Zemu website and you look at the compatibility, it'll show every game like it's playable. And then when you look at the bugs for each game, it's like, yeah, it has horrible flickering issues with the visuals, and it has a save corruption bug, but it's playable technically. They still have a lot of work to go with those emulators. Still better than the Vita emulator, I must say. That's one that was abandoned. Try using the Vita emulator if you want to see something really jank.
Ein Generator?
Sieht so aus.
Ob der noch läuft? Probieren wir es mal.
Wanted Dead I really like. It's on sale for $6. I should give it a shot. I have a feeling I won't like it because it looks like Devil's Third 2.0. Like it looks like the exact same game. And I was not a huge fan of Devil's Third. But for $6, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I spent $70 on whatever modern turd I've reviewed in the past 2 years. So what's $6? I might as well give it a shot. A halfway decent action game, it doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, $2 on a key site. Speaking of, I think you can get the entire Binding of Isaac with all of its DLCs for like $5 right now. I think that's the killer deal of this current Steam sale, is getting the entire Binding of Isaac collection. Because everything else looks like the exact same sales that they've just been recycling for the past 5 years.
Ist hier jemand? Hallo? Ob hier wohl Leute gestorben sind? Vielleicht irren ihre gequälten Seelen ja noch immer.
Yeah, emulating games is the be-all end-all solution for like fatigue from modern gaming. Is just like, that's what I've been doing. The only time I play modern games is to talk about them for this YouTube channel. I don't make a habit of playing modern games just for fun. I just emulate older games.
Suchen wir einen anderen Weg, Noct.
Das kam von da drüben.
Have I played the Atelier series?
Von hier, glaube ich.
Have I? Yes, I have. I played Ryza. I played Ryza 1. I don't... It goes to show how memorable it was. I forgot that I played it. It's alright. I think that game has ATB combat. It's okay. It's just like a whatever game. Crafting slop. That's what Atelier is. Crafting slop. Devil's Turd. That's what I call it, man. And Turd Birthday, exactly. Don't ever put third in your title. Isn't Devil's Third the reason Itagaki wasn't able to make another game? I don't know what happened with him. I remember he was hyping up Devil's Third. He's like, this is the next generation of action games. This is gonna blow you guys away. And then it was just an extremely confused... It didn't know if it wanted to be a shooter or an action game. And maybe in that respect, Wanted Dead is better, because it looks like it tries to blend the shooting and action in a more balanced way. Because in Devil's Third, it was just like... Just go in shooter mode and shoot everything until you get to a boss fight where you're forced to do melee combat. Is 360 a retro console? It's 20 years old. It's painful to think of it as a retro console, but what's the cutoff point? How many years old does a console need to be for it to be considered retro? Getting old sucks, man. I know I'm playing like shit right now because I'm not even paying attention to the game. Let me try to figure out how to get through this. I think I need to backtrack a little bit.
Perfekter Ort für einen Hinterhalt.
Wo du recht hast.
This looks right.
Das hält doch, oder?
Wer weiß.
Na nu, hier waren wir doch schon.
It's not retro. I'm very weird about retro. I feel like you can't add more more things to retro. Retro is like a certain era. It has to be like 90s or before. I can't accept anything from the turn of the millennia being retro. And I know that's very... I don't know if it's a very wrong way to look at it, but it's just I can't accept anything from the mid 2000s being retro. So I can't imagine for people that are like in their 60s or 70s, what do they think is retro? Okay, I think I know where to go. I'm getting lost here in this first dungeon. Because I actually have to play the game now. I've been kind of just cruising along, half paying attention this whole time, but now I gotta play it.
Der Weg ist neu, oder?
Sieht's aus.
See, things like this where you have to crouch and walk through a crack in the wall, I've seen people say it's loading the environment. That's not a loading screen. The forced walking when you're shimmying through a crack in the wall like this, look at this. This is not a loading screen. How can this be a loading screen when you're traversing that enormous open world with no loading? Yet in this dungeon, this confined little narrow pathway, this needs a loading screen? That's not a loading screen. That's just forced walking. It's tedious. They're trying to make it seem more dramatic and cinematic. That's all it is. It's not a loading screen hider.
Guckt mal, noch ein Generator. Großartig doch. Kinderlein.
Also dann, hier kann man Schwert kaum schwingen. Pass auf, dass du nicht uns triffst. Das schaffen wir doch mit links.
Aber hallo.
The 2000s is the start of the future. It really does feel like... I don't want to say everything started sucking in the 2000s, but there is very clearly like a hard generational cutoff there where I can't accept anything that came out post 2000 as retro. Which is stupid to think because I think even PS1 games were still coming out in 2000. Like when did Final Fantasy IX come out? That was like 2000, right? Or 1999. And is that retro? I think that's retro. I want to point something out here with this combat system. There's no point in changing the weapons. Like you see I have 3 different weapon types. There's no point to change them. In Muramasa, I gotta give Muramasa a plug here because I love that game. You have 3 weapons and it incentivizes you to switch between them because each weapon has a durability meter, and when you use a special move or when you block attacks, it drains durability. They knew that small team of like 25 developers, they made a better action game than the 300 people that worked on this 10-year-long project. Because there's no incentive to switch between these weapons. You just pick one and you just hold on to it the whole time. Because there's no durability gauge. There's no reason to switch up your attacks. Just pick whichever one you like how it looks when you do the automatic attacks, and that's it. I think I missed an exit. I think I have to go in here. Yeah, Muramasa, you passively... It kind of plays like an arcade game, because you passively charge a screen-clearing bomb attack, and you activate it by switching weapons. So they have a lot of elements in play in regards to the weapon switching mechanic of the game. Plus, the weapons have different properties. When you use a light sword in that game, it controls a lot different than it does using a heavy sword. You have to think about how you fight differently. But in this game, like just now I switched to the heavy sword, and I'm fighting the same way. I'm not fighting any differently. I'll switch to the heavy sword and I start playing like shit. How do you use items in this game? I don't remember. Oops. Clicking the right stick opens the map, by the way. I think I can heal by coming up here. Wow, cool mini boss. Very exciting.
Los, vorwärts.
AAA games treat players like you're stupid and you need someone to tell you every single instruction instead of just figuring things out for yourself. I made a video where I played, it's this PS1 game called Sokaigi. Not only does that game, it's not translated in English, so even if it did have tutorials, I wouldn't be able to read it. But that game has no tutorials, and because I emulated it, I didn't have an instruction booklet, so I didn't know how to play it. That was the most fun I had playing a game this year. And it was because I had to figure out how to play it by myself. I had to figure out what works, what doesn't work. It wasn't solved right away. In this game, you don't need to read an enemy's attack to figure out when to parry them, because it plays that prompt when you need to parry them. So does it even really matter that you're fighting different enemies with different attack patterns? Because when you need to parry them, you're going to be told when to do it. So how is it that this 26-year-old janky PS1 action game that uses tank controls plays better than this? This really, someone earlier said that this is a great game for streaming. It really is, because I don't need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm just looking at my second monitor, reading the chat, having fun chatting with you guys, and the game is playing itself. I'm just babysitting the controller, when it says take, I take. That's it. I wouldn't say, Buckley, I wouldn't say this is an infinite intelligence stream. This is just a casual discussion. I like having streams where there's not a lot of viewers because I can just casually chat with everyone. It doesn't feel like I'm being overwhelmed by this flood of messages, reacting to every little thing I do, and I miss a bunch of comments. This is very personalized. I can talk to every one of you guys, which I think is really cool. That's why I deliberately, I don't promote my channel, I don't advertise it, I don't tell people share my videos, because I like to have this small, tight-knit community where it feels more personal. Like, I recognize all of you guys when you leave comments on my videos, and I'm really grateful for every single one of you guys. Because it feels like I've developed like a camaraderie with you. You understand what my tastes are like, and I learn a little bit more about what makes you guys tick. Like, I've seen BioPhoenix and Estrella, Bladed, ATY Sensei. I've seen you guys leave comments all over my videos, and this is why I wanted to stream, just to like hang out with you guys. Because you guys seem like really cool dudes. And I just want to shoot the shit with you guys talking about whatever it is you want to talk about. The game is secondary. Like, I'm eventually going to make a critique of this game, and everything I have to say about it will be contained within that video. This is just capturing footage for when I need to make it. Princess Crown would benefit from a port. Princess Crown would benefit from an Odin Sphere style remaster. Because if you remember, Odin Sphere on the PS2 had like, what was it called, like the POW system? It was basically a stamina meter for attacks. And I hated Odin Sphere on the PS2. I love Vanillaware. Odin Sphere, not good. But then they remade it as Leifthryshir. Oh my god. They fixed that game. Play the remaster of Odin Sphere. I think it's called, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Odin Sphere Leifthryshir, I think it's called. I think it's a German name. They made the combat more like Muramasa, and they fixed it. They made Odin Sphere, they did the impossible. They made that game incredible. So if they do that same treatment for Princess Crown, I'd be all over that. Because the original combat system for Princess Crown isn't really that great. Thanks, Black Ricochet. I'm happy to hear you guys like my videos. I know I have a lot of contrarian opinions. I don't like to... I'm trying to make more positive videos lately. I don't want to just be the guy that just complains about modern games all the time, which is why I said I'm making a video on Ys 1, because I want to start making more videos where I talk about games that I really like, that do interesting things, and maybe introduce people to games that they otherwise wouldn't play. Because I know a lot of people are familiar with the Ys series, but if you ask people like, where should I start with Ys? Almost all of them are going to say, start with Ys 8. And I'm like, no, don't start with Ys 8, start with Ys 1. Like, Ys 8 is good, but don't be skipping out on Ys 1 just because it's got the bump system combat, because I think the bump system is really good. And I'll cover that when I make my video about the game.
Ich werde ihn auf eurer Karte markieren. Die Route ist relativ sicher und sollte euch Zugang ins Innere verschaffen.
Every game stream is personalized. It's the rush hour iceberg. You just hit the tip of the iceberg. Every stream is personalized. Played Ys Origin. Ys Origin, all of those games, the Napishtim Inchim games, Ys Origin, Ark of Napishtim, and Oath and Felghana, they're all worth playing. That's my favorite era of Ys. It's that sweet spot between the more simplistic, fast-paced version of Ys where you've got the bump system combat, so Ys 1 and 2 and 4, and not quite the slow-paced burns that are 7, 8, and 9. It's that sweet spot of the middle where they're a little bit longer than the bump system games, they're a little bit more involved, but they're not this full-blown JRPG, melodramatic, cutscene-driven style game that the later Ys entries are. Which, for my taste, it hits that sweet spot. That's why that's my favorite. Fast travel. You're charging me to fast travel? It's my own car. I'm not renting a car. Pay money to not watch yourself drive for a minute. The opinions are consistent, though I don't always agree from a taste perspective, but I understand how you drive your thoughts, which is, I'm glad that you think that way, because that's what I'm trying to do with my videos. And I acknowledge that sometimes it's hypocritical of me, like, I want this game to be ported, I don't want that game to be ported, but I try to at least explain myself. I don't try to just say, you know, I'm right, everyone else is wrong. I try to explain why I feel a certain way. Because I don't want to belittle people and say, like, I have the superior taste, everyone should agree with me.
Wir teilen uns hier in 2 Gruppen. Hoheit, bitte geht alleine weiter. Der General wartet auf euch. Ich starte mit Gladiolus und den anderen ein Ablenkungsmanöver.
You don't come across as tryhard. I try not to. And like I said, I want to make less of these negative videos because I don't want to be the guy that hates everything. I want to make some more positive ones.
Okay.
That really was kind of the breaking point for me, Metroid Prime 4, where I was like, what am I doing playing these modern games? I really don't know. Like, it got to a point where I bought Neo 3 just to make a review on the game. And I played that game for 30 hours and I was like, I don't want to play any more of this. And I don't even really want to review it. It's like, I spent $70 on Neo 3, not to enjoy it for myself, just to make a video about it. And when one day I woke up, I was like, why am I playing this game? So it was worth it to me to, like, instead of just making a video shitting on this game just because it's fun to do, it's like, just don't even talk about it anymore. If YouTuber got 100 people on stream, all I see are chaos to the point YouTuber only pay attention and donate to chat, which is another reason why I don't monetize my channel. And I'm stubbornly opposed to monetizing it. Because I already have a job. This is just a hobby for me. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because it's fun. It's a fun hobby. I like chatting with people about games. That's the only reason why I made this channel. I didn't do this because I wanted to make money. I don't want people donating to me, because then it kind of feels like if you don't donate, I'm not going to read your comment. And I don't want people to think that you need to give me money to be worthwhile in my eyes. That kind of ruins the whole appeal of talking about games. Because it's like the only people that are going to donate to you are the people that agree with you, the yes men. The people that don't like you, that disagree with you, aren't going to donate. And I want to read the comments from the people that disagree with me too. I don't want just people kissing my ass the whole time, because that's not a conversation at that point. That's just what is it? That's just a circle jerk.
Wenn du hier bist, ist das alles ein Kinderspiel.
Gewöhn dich nicht daran. Es kann gut sein, dass du schon bald wieder ohne mich auskommen
Will
musst.
people be reviewing anything? Are they more likely just ranting than even just reviewing it? I have two styles of videos that I make, and it's very easy to tell which one they are. The difference between my scripted and unscripted videos. Because my scripted videos are more level-headed and analytical. And my unscripted ones, they do come across more like ranting. The thing is, making a scripted video takes so much longer than just turning on the microphone and saying whatever comes to mind. Like, I can make videos like my reaction to the Star Fox video. I could make that all day and night. That video took me 3 hours to make. I came home from work, I was like, let me talk shit about Star Fox for an hour. Quickly whip together some footage, and then I uploaded it, and I got like 20,000 views. I was like, this is easy. It's taking candy from a baby. But you notice I don't make a whole lot of videos like that, because I don't care about making money from this. I don't care about the views. It was just a fun thing to do as a one-off. I don't want to make it a habit. But that's what people want. They want these ranted, unscripted, unhinged videos where you just talk shit about a game. And it's fun to do from time to time, but that's not what I want my channel to revolve around. I didn't even realize half my party ditched me. Let me just escape from this fight. Mournful, I agree. I do the same thing. Like, when I disagree with someone, I don't want to just like shit on them. I'm like, explain your perspective. I want to know why you feel that way. Because there was someone on my Nintendo Direct video who did just that. He was like, I like Dragon's Dogma 2, what are you talking about? And it kind of came across as a little abrasive, but I responded to him, I'm like, what is it that you like about Dragon's Dogma 2? And he fleshed out his perspective. He's like, well, the original director had a vision, and this DLC that they're doing kind of goes against the original tone of Dragon's Dogma, which is supposed to be this exploration-focused game. And the DLC just makes it like this arcadey action boss rush. And I was like, I didn't think about it that way. You're right. So it's one of those things where like this guy that disagreed with me, it opened up to a more interesting conversation. You just got to go about it in a level-headed way. You can't just, you know, talk shit to someone and because you disagree with them. And I try not to be the reactionary type. Outside of making it, like, it's one thing to talk shit about a game developer, because I'm not talking about anyone specifically, but I'm not going to talk shit about anyone that leaves a comment on my video. You're free to disagree with me. Angry video game rants will be... They always will, yeah. Which is why like I said, you can tell when I'm doing an unscripted video. Sometimes I don't feel like writing a script, because it takes a long time to make like these Final Fantasy critiques. Like that Final Fantasy IX one I did, it took a month. That was a 40-page script. It takes forever to write it, and then it takes forever to record it, and then I mess up the recording all the time because I don't know how to talk, and I gotta re-record the lines. It takes so much effort, but I think it's worth it because those scripted critique videos, it really has everything that I have to say about a game. When I'm unscripted, oftentimes I'll look at what I recorded, I'm like, why didn't I talk about this? Why didn't I talk about that? Because when you're talking in the heat of the moment, you don't really think logically, you just talk about whatever you see on the screen. Like, I can't meaningfully critique this game while I'm playing it live. It's only when I'm looking at the footage that I can analyze what I'm doing and I can say, here's why I don't like the combat, here's why I don't like the pacing. When I'm playing it live, I can just make these surface level observations, and I think that's why it's easier to just react to what the chat's saying than it is to spend time properly critiquing the game live. Is the music too loud? Let me know if I need to lower the game audio. I did like a little test stream beforehand to make sure the audio levels were good, but I didn't play it during combat, so the music might be a little too loud.
Noct! Und der General. Seid ihr unverletzt?
Ja, bei euch auch alles okay?
Na klar, was denkst du denn? Wir sind
Valkyrie
schließlich
profile is
Profis.
woke.
Euer
I
Ablenkungsmanöver
think
war
I've
ein voller
seen that
Erfolg.
video. At least I haven't watched it, but I've seen the title. I didn't click on it. It seemed like an ironic video. Game audio is good. That's good. Original AVG. I still watch the original AVGN episodes, like the Castlevania one. I watch every Halloween. The Castlevania, Friday the 13th, and did he have one on Nightmare on Elm Street or Ghostbusters? Those are all like very comfortable evening videos to watch during October. Is his little stint of horror games he did, those horror NES games. Those are they're still fun to watch. I still watch those every year. Speaking of October, I've been meaning to review a Castlevania game because I play Castlevania every year during October. So this might be a good year to review one of the Castlevania games that I haven't played before. Last year I played Curse of Darkness for the first time. Awesome game. People, they crap on the 3D Castlevania games so much. I don't like the Lords of Shadow games, but the older ones, the N64 one, what is that one called? Legacy of Darkness? And then Curse of Darkness on the PS2. They're both very different interpretations of 3D Castlevania, but they're both really good. I forgot how to use items in this game. Okay, here. Hold R. RT. Okay. Curse of Darkness is great. Curse of Darkness is like it's like an action RPG. It's very linear. It has no platforming, which is weird for a Castlevania game to not have platforming, but it's still pretty enjoyable as an action game. It's paced really well. It's like just dungeon after dungeon after dungeon, and there's not really a whole lot of backtracking. But Legacy of Darkness is a 3D platformer, and I don't know why people thought like the N64 Castlevania games aren't worthwhile. Completely wrong. The N64 Castlevania games are my favorite 3D platformers on that console. Much better than Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. It's probably sacrilege, but play Legacy of Darkness. I don't think it's on Switch Online, but just emulate it. Man, I actually have to play the game now. I'm getting my ass kicked. Do I like modern movies? I did see Mortal Kombat 2 this year in theaters. It's the only movie I saw. And you know what? I kind of liked it. It's just it's exactly what it needed to be. Just a dumb action movie where they crack jokes. And with levels from Mortal Kombat 2 on Super Nintendo. It's exactly what I expected. It's exactly what I got. They crack stupid jokes. They have some big dramatic fights in scenery that looks familiar. That first Mortal Kombat movie from like 4 or 5 years ago was terrible. They were trying to make it like this character drama, like Rocky or something. Like feel bad for this washed out boxer guy who was not even a character from any of the Mortal Kombat games. And then Mortal Kombat 2, they're like, let's just have these guys fight in a tournament, which is exactly what Mortal Kombat is. So I don't know. I hope that Street Fighter movie is the same thing, where it's just a bunch of fighting. I don't want this big character story. Yeah, Legacy of Darkness, does it also have Castlevania 64 campaign in it? It has the characters from that. But it has a new guy who's like part werewolf or something like that. Just play Legacy of Darkness, don't play 64. It's the better version. It's the same map, but it's got more to it. AVGN ruined the reputation of the Castlevania games? Yeah, probably. I mean, I respect him for not liking them, but as far as 3D platformers go, they're really worth playing. They get pretty challenging towards the end too. Like, a platformer should be all about the platforming, not the combat, which is exactly what Legacy of Darkness is. Like, the combat is whatever, it's there, but the platforming stays consistently challenging and it ramps up, which is how it should be. The camera might be a little tricky to get used to, but I mean, if you can play Mario 64, you can play Legacy of Darkness. It's not any worse. Lament of Innocence was all. I have to play that one next. I skipped that and went straight to Curse of Darkness, but the drawing point for, or the draw of Lament of Innocence for me, it honestly looks like the story, because as far as I know, that's like canonically the first entry in the Castlevania canon. Like, it's trying to talk about the origin story of the Belmonts and Dracula. So even though I don't know if the gameplay will be as good as Curse of Darkness, it might be worth it to play just for the story. And I'm not a story guy, but I like Castlevania. Or anything with this boss. Honestly, I don't even know what I just fought. I tuned out the whole time. I held the button and I pressed parry when they told me to parry. I zoned out that whole past hour. Should be good enough. I literally thought it sucked because of AVGN. If you like platformers, give it a try. If you don't like platformers, it's probably not going to change your mind. That's really what it comes down to. If you like Mario 64, you might like it. What are my favorite Castlevania? Symphony of the Night and Order of Ecclesia. I go back and forth on which one's my favorite. I'd say they're both about equal. Symphony of the Night is easy, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's because it's easy. It's like a comfort food game where it's like I just want to play something casually. I don't need to think about it too hard. I could just put that in and race through it in an afternoon and have a good time. Order of Ecclesia is a little more challenging, and it makes it has much better boss fights, but it forsakes that interconnectedness of Symphony of the Night, because Symphony of the Night, all of the stages are connected into like one cohesive mass, and Order of Ecclesia splinters them out into different bite-sized stages, and I think that kind of works against the game, because there's a lot of stages where it's just run in a straight line. It's like a transitory zone. I don't like that part of it, but it kind of makes up for it at the end with Dracula's Castle, which is like a proper Castlevania stage. Plus it's got like a refined version of the Aria of Sorrow like weapon system, where Aria of Sorrow you absorb souls and that gives you different attacks. You got like a kind of similar system going on with Order of Ecclesia, but I thought it was done a little bit better.
Zunächst erreichen wir Daskar, berühmt für sein Sumpfland. Na toll, ein Sumpf. Es gibt auch einen Wald mit Chocobos.
Oh, Chocobos!
Hinter Daskar liegt die Region Claim. Die größte Stadt dort ist Listallum.
Ist das nicht die Stadt, die
What are my favorite shoot-'em-ups?
Ja, mittlerweile müsste sie dort angekommen sein.
I'll go by developer from Cave, Akai Katana, or Katana. If I want to say it properly, Akai Katana. That's probably my favorite from Cave, and I'm not a huge fan of horizontal shmups, but that one, the way the scoring system works in that game is what really sells it for me, because if you play for score, it really elevates it. It's so satisfying to just like surf on a wave of bullets that kill all the enemies. From Treasure, I'm trying to... I've been playing Ikaruga casually because I've never one credit cleared it. So I've been trying to get back into that. I think I like that one more than Radiant Silvergun. Radiant Silvergun is a little bit too challenging for me. No, you know what? If it counts as a shmup, then from Treasure it would have to be Sin and Punishment Star Successor. But if that doesn't count, then it would be Ikaruga. I'm trying to think of any other prominent shmup developers right now.
Hallo?
But I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe Capcom? What did Capcom make? The 1940X series? I can't really remember. Those are probably the two big ones. Would be Cave and Treasure. Anything from those guys is worth playing.
War das Iris? Ihren Bruder hatte sie keine Angst?
Warum auch? Du wurdest schließlich nicht in allen Zeitungen.
Psycho's made some pretty good shmups. I haven't played very many of them. I think I played a little bit of Gunbird. And that's about it. They've ported a whole bunch of their... Psycho ported a whole bunch of them to the Switch, and I think they're all pretty cheap, so it might be worth checking some of them out. Whatever, dude. Let's go check out the Chocobos.
Ich will auch die Chocobos sehen.
I tried Hellsinker. I tried Hellsinker. I think I refunded it. I played the tutorial section, and it was like too involved for me with the shmup. I like shmups to be simple. I don't like them to be too involved. And that one was just way too involved for me. So I think I refunded that after like an hour. I didn't really give it a real chance. That wasn't fair.
Lasst nichts liegen. Okay.
It's closest to Nights in the Nightmare in terms of UI. Yeah, maybe in terms of like the art direction, it does kind of feel a little bit reminiscent of Nights in the Nightmare. But that game has so much going on. There's like so many different ways that you can shoot bullets. You have all these different attacks. It kind of felt reminiscent of Radiant Silvergun, where it's a little bit too involved for my taste. Like I'm trying to focus on dodging bullets, and now it's like you gotta level up weapons. You gotta choose the right weapon to use for this enemy. You gotta choose the right spot to cancel out the enemy's bullets. Like, I like that they were trying something interesting with it. I can respect it for that. But maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset for that game. I think it's on sale for like $5. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out again someday. The tutorial is the hardest part of Hellsinker. Well, it's trying to prepare you for the bullshit that comes later. It's one of those things where if you can handle the tutorial, you can handle the rest of the game. Which is, I think I covered that in my Dark Souls video, where it's like, if you can handle Capra Demon, you're ready for the rest of the shit the game throws your way. I think there's a TV Tropes page called That One Boss, and I think that applies, where it's like, if you can make it past this early game hurdle, you're ready for the rest of the game. I think more games should have something like that, where they give you that little challenge where you can see what you can expect later on. Park the car, man. Come on. I keep forgetting you can play music.
Ignis, halt mal an. Verstanden.
Mieses Wetter.
Oh yeah, Zero Gunner 1. I've played Zero Gunner 2. Well, 2 minus. I don't know why they called it minus. The switchboard is called Zero Gunner 2 minus. I think it's because that's another game where they lost the source code or something like that, and they had to rebuild it from scratch. It might be worth it to just emulate the Dreamcast version of that.
Riecht ihr das auch?
Ein hoffnungsloser Fall.
Selten so einen Chocobo-Narren gesehen.
Entschuldigung, ich würde gerne auf einem Chocobo reiten.
Auf einem Chocobo? Tut mir wirklich leid.
Challenge is bad, it'll make players give up on the game.
Das nicht. Lässt sich leider nicht ändern.
That's true. That's why all these... Have you noticed? Games don't even say easy mode anymore. Play the Onimusha demo, the new one. It said that there's 2 difficulties. There's story and action mode. Look how they phrase it. They don't call it easy mode and hard mode. They call it story and action. They're using these different words because they don't want people to feel like lesser for choosing a certain difficulty. Oh, I chose story mode because I appreciate the story. It's not because I want less challenge. No, it's because you want less challenge. You just changed a word. You didn't really change what it is. It's easy mode.
Womit kann ich heute dienen? Und sonst, alles in Ordnung bei euch? Meinst du, ihr könntet uns da aushelfen?
Do you have to do this hunt? I think you have to if you want to unlock chocobos.
Viel Glück. Wie wär's mit einer Tüte gesunder Gisart-Chips?
Why am I so broke?
Seid vorsichtig.
How do you get money in this game? Do you have to sell stuff? I don't remember. Camera strap on. I think I'm gonna call it here for now, guys. I can't believe 2.5 hours passed by in the blink of an eye. That's crazy. Streaming makes time go by so fast. But that was a lot of fun. I can't believe I managed to pull these numbers. 15 viewers. That's crazy. I was ready for like 2 or 3 viewers, and I was like, I'm just gonna talk about the game. And whoever's watching, just enjoy the show. But you guys were talking to me the whole time. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. That was a lot of fun. I've never done this before, and I'm glad you showed up. And I forgot to talk about the game. Exactly. That's why I still need to make a video about this game. Well, there was nothing to talk about. This whole 2.5 hours was just tutorial. It's just now opened up, and I can just now finally play the game. The whole thing, it's like it gets good 10 hours in all over again. But thanks so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, or the rest of your morning if you're on the other side of the planet. And I don't know if I'll stream again. I'll let you guys know. Let me know if you guys like this, and if you did, I can continue playing this, or if you guys want to see something else, I can stream something else. But I'm glad this worked out. I was stressing out if this would even work at all, because it's first time for something like this, and I'm glad it wasn't a catastrophic failure. I'll leave the VOD public, although I don't even know what you could conceivably get out of it. It's just going to be me talking to chat for 2.5 hours and rarely talking about the game. But I gotta get some water in my system. I haven't drank anything this whole time. My mouth is running kind of raw. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay tuned for the East video. I should have it done sometime next week. And past that, who knows what the future holds. Take it easy, guys.